Now, when you are in your Outlook mailbox, in order to access and create campaigns, you're going to click on the menu button in your inbox sidebar and click on the Send a Campaign hyperlink. So Campaigns is Yesware's bulk messaging tool that allows you to send sequenced, automated follow-up messages to multiple recipients at once, and you'll receive tracking for each individual message that's sent to your recipients. So a campaign, it could be a single email blast, or it could be a series of actions that we automate for you and help you stay on top of any phone call touches and tasks that you have set. When you click on the link, you'll be brought to a dashboard view of all of the campaigns that you have created or that have been shared with you if you're a member of any teams. And in order to create a brand new campaign, you'll click on the New Campaign button up top here. The very first thing you want to do is give your campaign a name. We're going to bypass the recipient option just for now until we've actually created our campaign. So we'll come back to this in a little bit. Instead, we're going to scroll down to the first touch. Now there's two different touch types, the options that you can take advantage of. The first is our automated email, where you will select a specific date and time that you would like your message to be sent out. And when that date and time arrives, Yesware will automatically send that message out for you. Or we have our phone call touch. This is going to come through in your Yesware sidebar when it's time to call the recipient. So we'll take a look at how to complete a phone call task just a little bit later after this training. For purposes of this demonstration, though, we're going to stick with the automated email. When you scroll to the campaign creation layout in the body of the campaign, touch, you'll actually notice that the campaign creation layout is identical to the template creation layout. So we have all of the same tools up at the top to adjust things like font and size. You can still include tracked links and add images. You can now insert your meeting scheduler link if you have that set up and created. Add tracked attachments and presentations. Merge fields for additional personalization. And then you can also insert templates. Templates are actually a building block for campaigns because they make the creation of campaigns much quicker. If you already have a template saved with a general message or even exact message that you'd like to include in your campaign touch, you can quickly insert a template, revise or edit the template text as needed, and then move on to the next touch. So you can have your campaign created within a matter of minutes. So I'm actually going to opt for a template in this scenario just since I have a couple of them saved. The templates, again, they also don't have to be the exact message that you're sending. And you can insert multiple templates into a single campaign touch. So maybe you have a template that has a certain set of instructions that you like and that you'd like to send out to folks. You can pop that template in and add an additional template you have saved that has a message that's tailored to the recipient. So in this template I have inserted, I have some Salesforce merge fields for the first name as well as the account name. And then I do have a tracked link and a tracked presentation included in my message. Once you've added your content to the body of the touch, you'll then scroll down to the bottom of the touch. You can actually create a campaign signature. Since Yesware doesn't have the ability to pull in your Outlook signature to the bottom of your campaign touch, if you create a campaign signature, it will be saved in Yesware campaigns, and you can add it to any touch that you're sending out via a campaign. Just click on the Create button here, and you'll be brought to a space where you can either recreate your Outlook signature or create an entirely new signature that's for campaigns specifically. And we have tools down here at the bottom so you can adjust font and size and include tracked links and images. Once you've saved your signature, as long as this button is toggled to the right, it means we'll include your campaign signature at the bottom of the touch upon sending. You'll then also select a time you'd like this touch to be sent out. I'm sure you noticed that there's no option to select the day you'd like this touch to be sent out. That's actually you're going to select that when we go to add the recipients to the campaigns. But for now, we're just selecting the time that we want this touch to go out. You can add a follow-up touch to the campaign using the Add Next Touch button, where you'll first specify the number of business days you'd like your second follow-up email touch to be sent if there is no connection. And a connection is in the form of somebody answering one of your email campaign messages, booking a meeting with you if you included your meeting scheduler link in the touch, or if you mark them as a connection when completing a phone call task. You'll then scroll down to the second touch, specify the touch type, and come down to the body where you'll either create your message from scratch or pop in a template if you have one saved. So I still have the merge fields included for the first name and the account name, and then I do have my meeting scheduler link included in this particular touch. Once you've added your content, scroll down to the bottom of the touch, toggle to include your campaign signature, and select a time you would like your second follow-up email touch to be sent. We're going to add another follow-up email touch to this campaign using the Add Next Touch button. And again, specify the number of business days we would like this third follow-up email touch to be sent if there's no connection from our recipients. You'll then scroll down to the third touch, specify the touch type, and come down to the body where you can type up your message or pop in a template if you have one saved. Once you have your message, you'll again scroll down to the bottom of the touch, toggle to include your campaign signature, and select a time you would like this third follow-up email touch to be sent. If you'd like to make this a longer follow-up campaign, you can always continue to add touches to the campaign using this Add Next Touch button. And then once you've gotten to that desired number of touches you'd like, you're going to come down to the settings. By default, Yesware is going to remove any recipients from the campaign if they're marked as a connection. And again, a connection is in the form of somebody answering one of your campaign emails, booking a meeting with you with your included meeting scheduling link, or if you mark them as a connection when completing a phone call task. By removing those recipients, it just prevents them from receiving those additional scheduled follow-up touches that are included in the campaign. But maybe you have some important information or documentation in those follow-up touches of the campaign, or you're using the campaign as a notification process. In those instances, you want your recipients to receive those additional scheduled follow-up touches, even if they connect with you. So what you can do is uncheck this box, and now recipients won't be removed from the campaign until they've received every single touch. Once they've received every touch of the campaign, they'll then be removed from the campaign, and you're free to add them to any new initiatives that you'd like. I'm just going to keep this box checked for now and go ahead and save my campaign. Once you've created the campaign, now you can add recipients to it by clicking into the campaign and clicking on the Add Recipients button. We have a few different ways that you can upload recipients. The first is by uploading a CSV file that you create in Excel using this Upload CSV file option. You'll select the CSV, and your recipients will load right in this view here. Now it's important, if you decide that the CSV file is the way you'd like to upload your recipients, you want to make sure when creating the CSV file that you list the email column as the very first column in the CSV, since Yesware actually processes the list and pulls additional information best this way. You also want to make sure, if you have any merge fields included in your campaign touches, that you have these included on your CSV file and the information filled out for each one of your recipients. Now the merge field names and the column names, they do need to match exactly in terms of spelling, capitalization, and even punctuation in the name of the merge field. So for example, I have my merge field reading first name, all one word, with the F in first and N in name capitalized. My column name has to read the exact same way. First name, all one word, with the F in first and N in name capitalized. If there's any difference between my CSV file or my CSV column name and my merge field name, Yesware isn't going to be able to pull the information. So if you upload a CSV file and you notice that a particular field isn't pulling, just double check that the merge field name and the column name match exactly. Now you can also upload recipients directly from Salesforce too. The first is by searching for a recipient in Salesforce by their email address or first and last name. Once you've located the record, select it and click Add. You'll notice we were able to automatically pull in the first name and the account name for this particular recipient. And that's because we are uploading them directly from Salesforce and they're a saved record. So we have the information in Salesforce that's saved to pull the information in. Now, if you're working with a larger list of recipients from Salesforce, we typically suggest creating and saving a contact or a lead list. And once you've created and saved that list, you can use option C here and select the contact or lead list that you have saved from the dropdown. You can then select the list and we'll pull the recipients into the view here. Once you've uploaded your recipients, you'll then scroll down to the first touch. You can use this preview and personalize view to make sure that merge fields are pulling properly for each recipient. You can also use this view to add additional personalizations for specific recipients if you'd like. Maybe we see one of the recipients had an accomplishment on LinkedIn recently, and we want to highlight that accomplishment when we reach out to them. You can click into the email address of your recipient, click into the body of the message, and now anywhere in the body, you can add your note. I'm just going to add mine down here at the bottom. You'll then click Apply Personalization. And now when this message sends out to your recipient, it's going to include that note you included here at the bottom. No one else is going to receive that note, though. They're just going to receive the initial content that you had uploaded to the campaign upon creation. Once you have previewed and personalized, you'll click back into the touch content and scroll to the bottom of your first touch. This is where you'll select the day that you would like your touch to be sent out. You'll also reconfirm the time and the number of business days you'd like the next follow-up touch to be sent if there's no connection from your recipients. You can even see a date that your recipients are expected to receive the next follow-up touch based on when the first touch is going out. You'll then scroll to your second touch. Use that preview and personalize view again to make sure merge fields are pulling and adding any additional personalizations you'd like. Before clicking back into the touch content, scrolling to the bottom of your second touch, reconfirming the time you would like your next touch to be sent, and also confirming the number of business days you would like your third follow-up email touch to be sent if there's no connection from recipients. You'll scroll to your third follow-up email touch, use that preview and personalize view again to make sure merge fields are pulling and adding additional personalizations where you'd like. Before clicking back into the touch content, scrolling to the bottom of your third touch and reconfirming the time you would like the third follow-up email touch to be sent. You're going to do this preview and personalized view process and confirmation of times for each touch that's included in your campaign. And once you've gone through all of the touches to make sure everything looks correct and selected the days and times you'd like everything to be sent out, you'll come down to the settings. If you have any links or attachments included in your campaign touches that you would like your recipients or you'd like tracking to be applied to, check this box here. If you'd like to BCC any colleagues onto the outbound messages you're sending, you can copy and paste their email address in this field here. And then finally, you will check the box stating that you understand these messages will contribute to your daily Outlook sending limits. And then you can go ahead and start your campaign. Now let's say that we set one of these touches as a phone call touch, and it's time to actually complete that phone call touch. That's not going to be completed in this view here. That's going to be completed in our Outlook mailbox, specifically under the Tasks tab of our sidebar. This is where any phone call touches that you have set up in campaigns will appear when it's time to complete those phone calls for recipients. So you'll click on the call button, and a window here will pop out for you to reach out to your recipient. If you're using our RingCentral integration, you'll actually be able to click on the phone number up top here and dial out to the recipient immediately. You can also view if the recipient is a saved record in Salesforce information here in the sidebar that you can refer to while you're on your call. The Talking Points tab will actually load with information if when creating your campaign, and specifically the phone call touch, you added any text or questions in the body of the phone call touch when creating the campaign. So you can insert questions or bullet points so that way when on your call you can refer to those questions. You can take notes as the call is going on or summarize the call once it's wrapped up in the notes section. And then you'll also designate a call outcome once the call has been completed. And this is important because it decides whether or not your recipient should remain in the campaign and receive any additional scheduled follow-up touches you have set, or if the recipient should be removed from the campaign if you're able to get a hold of them. The did not connect outcome is going to leave your recipient in the campaign since you weren't able to get a hold of them. And you can even select a disposition based on the outcome of the call. The connected and removed from campaign status is going to mark your recipient as a connection and remove them from the campaign so they don't receive any additional scheduled follow-up touches. Again, you can select a disposition based on the outcome of this call. Now, we also understand that maybe you do get somebody on the phone, but it's not the correct person, or you didn't get the answer to all the questions that you needed. In those instances, you can opt to say you did connect with somebody, but you'd like to leave the recipient in the campaign so they do receive those additional scheduled follow-up touches. Again, you can select a disposition based on the outcome of the call. So I'm going to say, unfortunately, I did not get a hold of my recipient, but I did leave them a voicemail. Now, when I click Save and Log, it's going to mark the task that was appearing in my sidebar as completed. And before this actually logs as a task over to Salesforce, I can edit any additional information I'd like in this Salesforce tab before clicking Save and logging this call over to the records activity history.